For the last 5 months, I've been working on my very first commercial game called The White Project. By the way, you can wishlist the game right now on Steam, but before that, let me tell you what's it all about and how we started to make the game. Yeah, I said we because I'm making it with a friend of mine, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how we started the game, what got us the idea, and how things went with the development of. So it all started when Unity decided to blow up the game dev industry, and with that, my friend who was using Unity previously shifted to Godot and started to learn it. So right after he was familiar with the engine, we started the development of the game. The idea was to make an endless 3D arena shooter with retro arcade-ish style and fast-paced movement, with a bit of lore in the game's environment and the name. Basically, the game is actually a simulation. That's all about the lore. After getting the rough idea and discussing it with each other, we started working on the game. As the game's style was to make it a retro FPS shooter, we started looking for some shaders that would look good with the game style and environment. Because as the game was gonna be on a void with nothing around the map and just the main arena, so it needed to look good, even with emptiness all around. And we did a lot of iteration on the game's look, and at the end, we decided to go with a bluish theme for the time being. After deciding on the game look and style, we started to work on the enemies. There were gonna be a few enemy types like Spider, yeah Spider but cool, and Dynamite, which basically works as a creeper but not really, and a few more. We started by working on the first enemy of the game, which was Spider. I was gonna work on the logic side of this and my friend on the modeling side. And while he was working on the model, I started to work on its logic, which was pretty simple. The spider just comes at you, and when it's in a certain range, it shoots webs that make you slow and not able to jump, sprint, and other stuff which you are able to do normally. This enemy type was not a danger for the player as it doesn't cause damage but rather as annoying enemy. And after the model was completed, it was time to implement procedural animation, which I was kinda scared of. And that's one of the things that I'm still working on to make it look good, and it's also one of the things that took quite a long time to be in a working state. Too many iterations of fixing stuff, many problems, complications and all, but I still managed to make it work, kinda. After completing the first enemy, things got a bit rough. For the next 2 months, the progress was slow but steady. There were times when we both had zero motivation to work on the game, but we hanged on and managed to keep working slowly on the project. After joining some game jams and doing side projects, we got the motivation back to work on the game, and with that, we started working once again on the project. And to make our commitment more stronger, we made a Steam page for the game. With all that motivation running, it was best time to start working on the second enemy of the game, Dynamite, which is kinda like Creeper in Minecraft, but like not like Creeper at the same time. Basically, it spawns and start moving towards a random direction, and once it hits any obstacle in its way, it flips and then repeat this. And after a certain period of time, it blows up, or it blows up if shot by the player. We wanted this enemy to be like a guy who's on fire and is running around like a maniac. It was kind of funny though. For this enemy, the movement was pretty simple and was done in no time, but had some problems with the explosion knockback. When it blows, it will damage player and makes the player go boom. This simple mechanic took kinda longer than I anticipated, but it was totally worth it. After making this enemy, we were deciding to do a playtest of the game. Of course, after we had some gameplay going, and we both agreed to do it on 15th February 2024. So once the playtest date was decided, we knew that we had to work harder as there was very less time remaining. So we got hard at work, and after a total 5 months of development, this is how the game looks right now. It's not too much, but it's our first commercial game, and we wanted to keep it simple but enjoyable as well, which we hope it is. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and wishlist the game on Steam, and I'll meet you in the next video. Bye bye.